Hello and welcome to Tomi Talks TV. I have one singular goal with this show, and that is to help you make smarter decisions so that you can have better relationships. I'd like to start as usual by saying a very big thank you. Thank you for all your likes and your shares and your comments on Facebook, on Instagram, on YouTube. I really appreciate you because you're helping us spread the message further faster. So thank you very much indeed. Now today I'd like to take another one of your questions, and it goes like this. I'm a 36-year-old single lady who loves the Lord and is living to please Him. I yearn for marriage, but it has not happened. Recently, an old acquaintance started showing interest in me. I like him because he is nice and treats me well. He is not as spiritual as I would want. I also discovered that he drinks alcohol, and this is usually a deal breaker for me. I grew up with an alcoholic father and do not wish to relive that experience with my children. He claims he wants to stop, but at the moment he is still struggling. I don't want to settle for someone who isn't filled with the Holy Spirit. I don't know if I will respect a man who drinks as my head, but I am not getting younger. All my younger sisters are married. He has asked that we begin a relationship that could lead to marriage. Please advise me on what to do. You know, my heart really goes out to you, and I can understand the struggle here and how challenging it must be. You're in a place where you feel like you're ready to get married now, and you know all the signs are there that this is a good time for you to get married, but the right person doesn't seem to be showing up. So what do? Now you have, very correctly said, first of all, that you have a desire to get married to somebody who loves God, and that is absolutely the foundation, the most fundamental thing when it comes to looking for somebody who you're going to get married to. It needs to be somebody who shares your desire after God, somebody who shares your passion for God, somebody with whom you can share your pursuit after God, because ultimately at the end of the day, if you're going to build a solid marriage, then the raw materials that will build that marriage will be you and the person that you're getting married to. So it's really crucial that the raw materials you're putting into the marriage are the right kinds of raw materials, and that's why it's so important to marry someone with whom you are on the same page spiritually. And that's something that the Bible makes very clear as well, talking about marrying somebody who shares your passion after God, because ultimately that's how you're going to be able to build the kind of marriage that God has designed for you to build. Now, having said that, now you've got somebody in your life who seems to be interested in you, but you've correctly identified that there are certain warning signals. These are what I call warning flags in a relationship. So first of all, he's not somebody who has the same kind of desire after God that you have. He's not as spiritual as you would like. And he's also, somebody who, takes alcohol. And because of your past history, you have, bad pictures of growing up with an alcoholic father, and you really don't want to get married to that kind of person. I think you're absolutely right in seeing those things as warning flags, as warning signals. On the one hand, you're saying to yourself, well, time doesn't seem to be on my side. Everyone else, my younger ones, have gotten married. I really want to get married. I want to settle down. But on the other hand, you see this person and it's quite clear to you that there are things in his life that would make it difficult for you to build the kind of marriage that you're dreaming of. You see, and a very fundamental part of what you've said is that, you don't even feel like he's someone that you can look up to as your head, somebody that you would admire, and somebody you could submit to, simply because he's not in that place spiritually. And I would say you're absolutely right in making that assessment. And the truth of the matter is this: you cannot afford to make the mistake of going ahead to get married to that sort of person, because if you were to do that, then you will find yourself in a place where it's like you're struggling to make the marriage work. And I always say to people, ultimately at the end of the day, the pain of being in a bad marriage is infinitely worse than the pain of loneliness or the pain of being alone. But a lot of times when people are pursuing after marriage, they don't see it that way, and they're just like, well, let me just settle. Let me just get married to someone. Let me just build my own home. But then, having spent so many years counseling women, counseling, people who have been through, very challenging marriages, I will say over and over again, the pain of being in a bad marriage is far worse than the pain of being alone. So you've got to make up your mind that, look, you will stick with God's plan for your life. you know. And as difficult as it might be, you will still be patient and trust God. And I really want to believe God with you that, you know, as you're patient and you're trusting him and you're loving him, that he will bring someone, you know, your way that, you know, is someone that you can actually build a home or build a marriage with. And that's my desire for you. But ultimately, you've got to settle it in your heart that regardless of what happens, you are not going to marry somebody who does not have the same kind of desire for God as you have. Well, I hope this has helped you. If this has helped you, then please leave me a message on Facebook, on Instagram, or YouTube, or wherever it is you're watching. And if you've got a question you would like me to answer, then head on over to tomitalks.com/ask and I'll answer your question next time. See you next time. Bye-bye.